Hi honnies, how are ya? Tanyanishailoc here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the true cost of living in Kampala, which is the main city of Uganda. Before we dive into the video, don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell, and also to like the video. Also comment something in the comment section below. Comment for me anything. You might say hi, #new. It will be amazing to introduce you to our family over here. I recently made a video such as this one in particular, I think months ago. The nagging question that I did leave was, how much does it cost to live in Kampala, like in the center of Kampala? So I've divided up everything into 5 different things, starting from rent, transport, fun, food, and others. Kampala has a lot of different opportunities, but if you spend carelessly, you might wake up one morning when you are homeless and you don't have any penny in your pocket. For those who don't know, I'm a nursing student in my 2nd semester of 1st year. By the time all this pandemic came in, I was supposed to be accomplishing my 1st year in July. I don't get any penny per yet from any awards where I do placement and all that, but I have my other side hustles such as hairstyling. I also do makeup, I also do weaving. When I do makeup, I would do it for around 20 to 70,000 Ugandan shillings. When I'm doing hair, I might do it for around 20 to something like 45,000 Ugandan shillings. From my other allowances which I get from my parents, that is around 7,000 Ugandan shillings to something like 15,000 Ugandan shillings. So when you add up all that amount, that brings me to my total minimum wage that I stand in as a person who is not earning per yet from the career I have, which I'm studying, but from my other side hustles. Also remember that the average salary of a Ugandan who is educated and has a good job, or a relatively good job, it would be around 600,000 Ugandan shillings, and for an ordinary Ugandan it would be around 15,000 Ugandan shillings monthly. I also want to talk about this in terms of daily, because I think most of the Western countries, of which talking about the Western countries, I have a lot of people watching me from the USA. Here, I will not say hourly, but I would say daily. A local person who is not maybe educated, not having a very nice job, just working in the market, he might get around 5,000 to something like 7,000 Ugandan shillings, the minimum person, the lowest person. And the person who is earning, daily, and he has a very nice job, might be earning around 45 to 50,000 Ugandan shillings, maybe daily. The first point, which is rent. So when you are not initially a person who lives here, the safest option and the best option I would advise you to do is to get a rental. Unless you have a very nice job, a very big and beautiful paying job, I would advise you again to go for buying a beautiful house, a big house and all. I also want to emphasize this, that Kampala is made up of, I think, more than 4 different divisions. We have the Central Division, we also have the Makindye Division, we also have Lubaga Division, and Kawempe Division. Some of the neighboring districts, I would say, which are around Kampala, I would say that there is Mpigi District, there is also Mukono District, and Luwero District. The Kampalians, or people who literally stay in Kampala, they work and live in those areas, or the divisions I've just mentioned, where they would, most of them have rentals. As I've told you, that is the safest option. And I would say that the rental, which is a single room, would run from around 50,000 Ugandan shillings to around 150,000 Ugandan shillings monthly. And also a double room, meaning that 2 rooms, 2 different bedrooms, it would run from around 130,000 Ugandan shillings to around 300,000 Ugandan shillings monthly. Also, this I think is very important. If you are to get a rental in a flat, the increment will be a little bit higher, because people here, they have a mentality that people living in the flats are a little bit more expensive. That's why the landlords and landladies tend to put their houses in different flats at at a slightly more price than rentals which are not in flats. So that's a simple logic. There might be an increment of around 100,000 Ugandan shillings on a double room, or something like 50,000 Ugandan shillings on a single room. And also, if you are to go in to rent a full house, that would run from around 400,000 Ugandan shillings to around 2 million Ugandan shillings, basing on the area and the condition of the house. I have literally to talk about bills as I talk about rentals, because I think that they do work as twins. So other bills that I think that you might do incur, we have water, where each unit is around 2,500 Ugandan shillings. Then every unit of electricity is around 1,000 to 2,000 Ugandan shillings. The internet is also very important, and I look at it also as a bill. So here we do buy our data, which we use to be able to access the internet from internet servers such as Airtel, MTN. When you get here, you will be able to buy one of those SIM cards and literally do subscribe. But I guess that monthly charges, if you were to apply for data for a month, would be around 120 to something 300,000 Ugandan shillings. That's a little bit expensive, but it also differs from different internet servers. Airtel is different from Africell, from MTN, from every other internet server. Coming to the next point, which is transportation or transport. So here in Kampala, we have different options of transportation: buses, taxis, boda bodas, specials are what are known as Ubers in other countries, but one of these days things have been going modernized. We also have Safe Border, and Uber has also come in Kampala. It's there. The rush hours, such as the morning hours and the late night hours, they have the most fluctuation when it comes to transportation, be it taxis, boda bodas, and all other means I've talked about. But I would say that the most reliable one would be a boda boda. It's very easy to get you all around Kampala, very flexible, very speedy, and even it does not look at jam. I want to talk about, first of all, the prices of the transportation. All of them are negotiable, except those ones which are already prescribed in those different companies such as Safe Border and Uber, but all others are negotiable. Taxis, boda bodas, you can negotiate with the person driving it, and you might give him or her any price. And also, I want to talk about other options such as walking or cycling. If you have your bicycle, you can go around Kampala cycling or walking. My option is walking. It's free and you get everywhere, and also though it gets you a little bit late. Also be curious, because Kampala is not the safest area or the safest place that I know in Uganda, but just be curious who is in front of you, who's behind you, who is on the opposite sides of you. Just be curious and keep your health and safety. At the end of the day, everything is going to be cute and fine. Food being the next subtopic, you guys. Food here is not expensive at all. It's like at all, and you can plan to cook your food daily if you want. You can also plan to buy out food daily if you want. But me as a person, in my own opinion, is that I always cook food at home at least 2 to 3 days. We alternate with my sisters. 2 to 3 days I also do cook. But also one of these days, since the world is developing at a very high speed, we have different food applications such as Jumia Foods and all others. ShopRite has one, Cafe Java has one, and all that. You can place in your orders and you can get the food, and you can literally pay cash at delivery. But also, if you want to eat out, it's fine and okay. From these different street vendors, it's very fine and okay. One plate would go around I think 2,000 to something like 3,000 Ugandan shillings. That's very cheap. Or even from around 1,500 to around 2,000 Ugandan shillings. For restaurants, side restaurants or fancy restaurants, which are not very 5-star restaurants, would run from around 10,000 to something like 20,000 Ugandan shillings. Then the 5-star restaurants such as Serena and all that, food there is hella expensive. It might be even for around 50,000 Ugandan shillings per person. I also want to talk about sodas. Those are a little bit cheap. They're around 1,000 to something like 2,000 Ugandan shillings. Also a cup of black tea, that would be around 500 to something like 1,000, basing on the area. Milk tea would run you around 1,000 to something like 2,000 Ugandan shillings. You guys, I want to talk about the next point, which is fun. For this point in particular, I think it bases from person to person. There are different people who love different things. I'm a person who loves concerts, though one of these days I no longer attend them because of the pandemic, of course. But a fairly cheap concert would be around 7,000 to around 50,000 Ugandan shillings, basing on the person who's going to be performing, an artist, and all that. For comedy, that would be around 20 to 50,000 Ugandan shillings. Also, it bases, which person is performing and all that. Band music, for a very famous band such as Afrigo. Here in my country, we have a very famous band known as Afrigo. They have been together for the longest time ever. They do very nice music. That would be around, I think, 30 to 50,000 Ugandan shillings. I want to mention this before I continue. You guys, if you come to Kampala, you have to make sure that you grab yourself a boda. Yes, it's a must. I'm saying it as a must. You're going to have the best experience ever. Get a boda. It will get you all around Kampala from point A to point B, and you'll be just enjoying your stay here in the country and probably in the city. So the next point is others, and in others I want to talk about something like clothing. Here we do buy our clothing from Owino, different markets, which are called scheduled markets, or what we call Obutalevo Muvulo. They are side markets, they are for different days, and I think also in the European countries it's also there. But for a t-shirt such as this one, would get it for around 2,000 Ugandan shillings in a market. And if you are to go to these different arcades, this would cost you around 15,000 to 20,000 Ugandan shillings. And for fancy shopping, such as in very nice stores such as Adidas, if this is the same shirt, it would be for around, I think, 40,000 Ugandan shillings. So be very curious where you're going to be buying, and just be on a budget. As I told you at the start, just look at your total income and what you are spending, and you will be able to work out even these clothing. I also want to talk about the gym. Here gyms are there for paying for, yes, on a serious note, except from very fancy restaurants, which are known as the 5-star restaurants. There, I think they are free as soon as you pay your hotel fee, something like that. So they are for paying, but again, costs would go for around 3,000 to 7,000 Ugandan shillings daily. It also bases where the gym is located, who is governing it, and all those other different circumstances. I also want to talk about pools. Pools here, most of the homes and houses here in Kampala, they don't have pools like their own pools, but those that have, to God be the glory, they are for them. But if you want to get around to swim and all that, swimming into a pool will cost you from around 5,000 to something like 15,000 Ugandan shillings. So as I come to the conclusion of the video, I want to just summarize up this, telling you that just make your own stay here in Kampala very beautiful and amazing. Just learn to adapt to everything, because I think that is the main governing factor. If you learn to adapt from all these different things, like especially financial wise, things are going to be very simpler for you. If you cannot afford going to a bar or to something like a very fancy concert, just sit at home, buy your drinks, watch those concerts live on the TV. They always broadcast them on our different local televisions with some friends, and you'll enjoy it. If you don't have money to go to the gym and you're on a budget, just run around. It will be healthy, it will be amazing. You'll see different places and areas. If you happen to have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. It would be amazing and fabulous for me to answer them. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to subscribe, to like, to comment. If you're already here in Kampala, let me know in the comment section below if what I've talked about literally does reflect. It would be very happy for me literally to reflect again on what I've literally told you. If you are coming to Kampala, we are very happy to receive you. Remember to subscribe for a lot of beautiful, amazing content. Tanyanishailoc switching out. Bye for now.